What I was saying is that if you think of the premise that we are very evolved somewhere else, and then we come to this planet Earth to be to 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 experience material things, to experience all the things we can experience here that we cannot experience anywhere else, obviously. Does that mean if we were more advanced over there before coming here,
Mm-hmm.
how did we get that advanced without without having been here before? You see what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Because a lot of people, there's this school of thought for many people that we are divine, we are blah, 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 whatever they want to call it. And we're bigger than we think we are, we're more powerful than we think we are. Our thoughts create our universe around us and all that stuff. We're bigger. But if we were bigger than we really think we are, and we're just here to experience this life, which is supposedly you're here to learn and grow, and as if it's a school that you learn, and then next time, and then you reincarnate again because you didn't learn all you had to learn. There's karma involved and all that. It doesn't make sense that we were bigger before, that we're bigger than we are here now. To How can it feels like going backwards in the line to evolve. If we came here to experience this stuff that will help us evolve, but we were bigger than this being here. We're more. Our spirits are much more than what this planet is about. This realm is about. Why did we go backwards to come here? How can we be much more over there? If we're much more, why do we need this? Then we don't need this, because if we're more there, we already evolved more than this, then we don't need this. So why do you see, it doesn't make sense. There are many school of thoughts of different things that if you want to put them all together, they don't match.
Yeah, well, many schools of thought that they don't always match, but the way I understand this, or at least some insights about it, is that it's it has more to do with the concept of realization. That, in other words, realization being the actual full experience of, in this case, a more cosmic or divine status, where it is suggested that in between lives and whatever, that we are given an experience, or reminded of an experience, or essentially glimpses, or a taste of, or an aspect, probably better to say an aspect of um, the divine nature of us and of it all. That doesn't mean that we have realized that. It is. I can't think of an
Are we coming
analogy.
here because we forgot we're divine? That we're bigger than
Well,
we
on,
are
on,
now?
on one level, yeah. Um, I was reflecting on this when we were talking the other day, and trying to reflect on things that I've learned both from Maharishi and outside of it as well. And then just this morning I saw a quote that kind of is connected to it, but some other saint or philosopher, I forgot who it was, someone I think you shared with me recently on Facebook, um, said that heaven isn't a place, it's a state of consciousness. Uh, and that to me coincides well with things that Maharishi shared and taught. that um, and also that, and this was thinking about after we talked the other day about this, and also that Jesus taught, supposedly, in two separate passages of the Bible, he is referenced as saying, first of all, this is my recollection of the translation I read, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all else shall be given to you. So that's principle the highest first, seek ye first the kingdom of, and another passage he is referenced to as saying, and the kingdom of heaven is within. So,
Yeah.
so your assertions and considerations that this is basically hell here, I believe that, although I'm not saying I've heard him say this, but I believe that if Maharishi was to be presented with that assertion, what was more consistent with, or what would be consistent with other things that he taught, is that it is not so important, it is not of primary importance where we've been or even where we are. It is what we can be is of the primary importance, and where we can be. He put most emphasis on our true nature and the potential of getting there, of being that. And so experiencing divinity, experiencing heaven, is not about going someplace. It is about, in a extremely non-traditional definition, it is more consistent with remembering our status.
Why did we forget?
It's not. That's the problem with the term remembering. Is that the consideration, the flip side of it is about forgetting. This is part of that pragya parad concept, the way I understand it, of mistake of the intellect. That goes to a very, very deep level of how the intellect functions. That until the intellect is infused with absolute divine consciousness, or however you want to put that term, absolute bliss consciousness, until it is infused with that, it mistakenly experiences ourselves and our surroundings as being less than it is.
The intellect.
Yeah, and it is not the intellect that we consider when we're studying psychology or
Yeah.
It is the.
So you think we have this intellect here in the body, and we don't have that without the body. It's one perk of being here, or one bad thing of being here.
It is part of the human design. We have emotions, we have intellect, we have ego, we have body, we have senses,
but
all that.
The way you talk about it, it feels as if we don't have it anywhere else without the body.
Oh, so I don't know that.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't say we don't have it any other place or any other.
We don't know.
No, but my point is that it would be functioning differently.
Yeah.
Just like on the celestial realms, in the celestial realms, our senses are functioning differently.
Okay.
So is the ego, so is the mind, so is the intellect, so the emotions, all that.
Well, that comes to that point that I wanted to ask you before. So I wanted to ask, it's okay, since we're going there. I was thinking about, what's the name of that woman? Dolores Cannon. Talking about us, this being a school, and then we come back, and then we learn, and then we reincarnate again. When we die, we go and see what needs to be done, what needs to be changed in our. We talk to the masters and figure out a better what would suit us better next life, and then we come back and then we forget that we had all that stuff prearranged and all the contracts of other people that we deal with when we're here. Uh, makes it all sound so nice and beautiful. You come here to experience with those people everything you have to, and work out your karma, and then you come back again and again and again and again. And then it makes me wonder. And then you have the enlightened beings that come to this realm or got enlightened when they were here or whatever. You have Gurudev, Yogananda.
Yeah, many. Yeah,
What's his name? What is Gurudev's name?
Swami
Swami
Brahmananda
Brahma. Yeah,
Saraswati. Right?
Brahmananda Saraswati. Yeah. And you have Mahesh Yogi that came from him, learned with him, got enlightened through him. And they're here to help us, and then they make available to us transcendental meditation that wasn't available to the public before, because that's the way of getting enlightened. So we get out of here. So, because our goal is to get out of the wheel, like, right, like you like to say, our
To
goal
get
is
off the
to
wheel.
get off the wheel, to get out
And
of here,
and the wheel is the cycle of birth, death, and
yes,
rebirth.
so we don't come back.
Yeah.
Get out of this reincarnation cycle. Okay, so now there you have a paradox there. Now you have something interesting, because if it is good, if we're supposed to be coming here and reincarnating, like many spiritual people believe that this is good, it's a school, we're here to learn, and then we have to come back again because we didn't learn everything. But then you have these saints coming here to help us get out of here, not to reincarnate again. So that makes it look like it's not good to be here.
It's the best we can have.
But why would they want us to get out of here faster?
Because there's better possibilities as well. And
And why would they want us to see? For this is the fastest, easiest way to get off the wheel. Because maybe the wheel's broken. We're not getting out of here ever.
wheel's not broken. But
Maybe we're just not getting out of here. Or why do they want us? Why did they have to come here to teach us to meditate, to go deep within where the kingdom of heaven is? To deep within where God is, to the nothingness, to where from everything starts, to the field of all possibilities. Why are they giving us a technique? Why are they helping us to get out of here faster? If there's a great sense from all the other spiritual people that this is a good place, that we're here to learn, it's a school. You see what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's a good place at all if you have these saints here trying to get us out of here.
well,
That's why I'm
it may
thinking
be odd in this kind of
this feels
conversation.
like a hell to
It,
me.
it may be odd in this conversation to inject the famous line from Mr. Rogers, but always look for the helpers. They're always there. And this is not the best of all possible places.
No, we
It
know that,
is,
obviously.
it is the best of all possible places that we can have at this given point in our evolution. Uh, uh, in this premise, with this premise, um, all of creation, including us, are evolving. So the past is understood to be always representative of a lesser quality of evolution. Uh, and I would assert that the reason that we have the rare presence of the enlightened ones, truly higher states of consciousness attained individuals that are here. Uh, Two things I would put into this consideration. One is that their experience of the nature of the divine includes grace. That it is
To the grace of the divine, that
that it is part of the nature of divinity to um, have grace, to be compassionate and to help. And part and parcel in that is that this plane, this earthly plane, is not an island in the universe separate from everything else. It has an influence on the rest of the universe as well. So as this earthly plane evolves in consciousness, collective consciousness, it helps to whatever degree the evolution of other areas of the universe. And the falling, if it was possible to consider that the earth devolves metaphysically and fails, which sounds like a very subjective term in this case, but I'll suggest it anyway, then it could have negative consequences on other realms and areas of the universe. Just like the environment, that if we abuse and destroy the environment in one place on Earth, it, let's say the rainforests and all that, it has significant impacts on other places on Earth. It is considered in certain metaphysical or spiritual realms that there are devas associated with not only lakes and mountains and rivers and streams and all this, but also states and countries and planets, and the harmony of all of those qualities, celestial qualities of the devas, the devatas, that support growth. If there is disharmony, discoherence, because of the amount of stress and all that, that humans definitely can contribute to the environment, not just climate, but bigger definition of environment, then it has an impact on the planetary entity. You might call it a deva, who is responsible for the maintenance and growth of the success of the planet. That influence also influences other
Yeah, but what does
areas,
that have to do with what we're talking?
because it is all connected, that the growth and evolution of human consciousness raises the consciousness, has the ability to raise the consciousness, the energy signature as well, of this planet, which has an impact on the prosperity, happiness, success, growth, and evolution of other areas of the universe. You can talk about it in terms of three-dimensional planets or other levels, other dimensions. We have an impact on all of it. They have an impact on us. I'm connecting this to one reason why these truly enlightened beings, saints sometimes referred to, would come to help, because it's not just about us. That's one reason. We have impacts. The Earth is not standing alone. This
Right.
planet is not standing alone. And it's all that we do here only impacts what we have here. It impacts, theoretically at least, it would impact other areas of life. Whether you're talking about drawing a line and saying Alpha Centauri or other planets or other universes or other solar systems and all that, you can argue yes or no about that. Or you can talk about it in terms of if there's a consideration, if people find it valid and fascinating that there's a consideration of multi-dimensional life.
Yeah.
To quote the famous literary line, no man is an island. And extending that concept, no planet is one either. So there
So I'm
are,
here asking individually, why are we here? How important is it for us to evolve? And if we were evolved before coming here, why did we have to come here?
well,
And is this a prison? Is this a school? Is it
I think your premise is a little faulty in that if we were more evolved before we came here.
yeah, we couldn't
Uh,
have been.
no, it doesn't mean that we haven't had experiences that have been amazing and wonderful and glorious and celestial and even divine prior to being here, whether it's talking about in between lives or even a previous life and all that. But in this
Well, the
example,
New Age likes to say so much that, oh, we're so powerful, we can change our lives.
yeah,
Your thoughts are so powerful. We're divine. We're this, we're that. But really, so what are we doing here then?
yeah, that is our true nature that is unrealized. You
But
know,
was it unrealized before we came here? And then they think we can realize it through going through all this shit here?
we realize it through the combination of spiritual practices like transcendental meditation and other areas that help our holistic, truly helpful, natural, effortless growth, and stabilizing that. We're in a realm where we're stabilizing it by acting, some people call it grounding, integrating, all these different synonyms. We're moving in this muddy place that we call Earth. And that's the best we have. That's the best choice we have right now. To integrate the spiritual with the material in our lives, inside ourselves, and around us.
Then you do believe this is a school.
It's an overly simplistic thing, but yeah, in a lot of ways it is, because to paraphrase, those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. Those who don't work through their karma are doomed to keep on coming back to work through their karma. Action has consequences. The on another level, if you want to talk about it a little more intensely and negatively, is that until we're fully enlightened, we are constantly violating, to different degrees, lesser and greater, laws of nature. What happens when you violate laws of man, so to speak? You go to prison.
Yeah.
So you could say by that extension that we are in prison by virtue of our own actions, violating laws of nature. We are inevitably violating laws of nature to lesser or greater degrees before we completely realize the higher states of consciousness, which in Maharishi's terminology would begin with cosmic consciousness. So
Which is enlightenment.
Yeah, it is the
First
first
enlightenment.
quality of it, the first stage of enlightenment, where we are then not bound by the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. So
Like we graduate.
yeah, and he's
From
also said
school.
in a different context, and others have said this as well in different ways, that until we reach that stage, we are closer to the nature of the animal kingdom than we are of the human kingdom. So what does it mean to be fully human? It means to realize the divine that is in and around us. It means to be enlightened. Enlightened with a capital E is that. Enlightened with a small e is I now have greater knowledge, greater wisdom.
Then we came here to get enlightened then. Is that it?
Yeah, because that's a
This
very
is the place
simplistic
to
way.
get
But,
us enlightened.
right, because what we have, the resources that we have at our disposal, which include our mind, our body, our senses, our intellect, our ego, our emotions, our planet, our people, our families, our friends, everything in our environment, those are all of our resources. All of those resources give us the potential and knowledge, powerful knowledge, gives us the potential to get to that here. On other planes of existence, it may be a different combination of resources that would get us to the next level.
Where are we trying to go?
We're not trying, well, the whole
Evolve to get back to what? To God?
full,
That sounds boring.
full divinity. So,
With the divine.
yeah, yeah. Be the divine, which is sacrilegious in some circles. In some circles, the concept of being divine is of man being divine is sacrilegious.
Yeah, because they want to keep control of everybody, and then inside the church, only the priest has
the separation
power.
of God and human, all that. But the potential of the human being is to experience absolute bliss consciousness 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Which is enlightenment.
Which is enlightenment. So the potential of the human being is to embody being with a capital B. That is that which is responsible for the manifestation of all of creation. It's the same being that gives rise to all of creation. So what gives rise to all of creation? The Creator. That's considered to be, in many schools of thought, divine. So this whole New Age philosophical approach and others' approach of the human is divine is all connected to literally realizing, embodying, owning that same absolute bliss consciousness that is often referred to as being with a capital B, that also gives rise to everything. So the connection is there. There is one underlying unified field from a physics point of view. There is one underlying divine consciousness from a metaphysical point of view. Same thing, by some definitions anyway.
Okay, we'll go into more of that next time.